Episode 3. Betrayals. The city had changed. What was once bustling and alive now lay under the shadow of fear. Smoke drifted from burnt-out shops. Sirens screamed endlessly in the distance. Drones hovered above like hungry, metallic insects circling a dying animal. Adesola moved quietly through narrow alleys with Amina, David, and Papa Chike close behind. Their footsteps were soft, their breaths slow. Every sound could mean discovery. "They're rounding up people," Amina whispered, clutching her backpack tighter. "Anyone refusing to accept the government's explanation just disappears." David nodded nervously. "They grabbed my neighbor last night. Said he was spreading religious panic. He wasn't. He just cried and prayed." Adesola didn't look back. His jaw was tight. "They want to erase the truth," he said. "This is only the beginning." The shattered family. As they turned into a quiet neighborhood, a desperate scream sliced through the air. Outside a half-collapsed house, a young girl, no older than 13, clung to her older brother's shirt. "Please," she sobbed. "Don't leave me. Don't let them take you." But the brother's eyes were dead, hollow, emotionless. The mark shimmered faintly on the side of his neck. Whatever humanity once lived in him had been replaced by cold obedience. "You're resisting the new world," he said flatly. "You're dangerous. If you won't accept the mark, you're the enemy." He motioned toward the sky, signaling a drone. "Stop," Adesola shouted. "She's just a child." The drone locked onto the girl, targeting circle glowing red. "The rescue." Adesola sprinted forward with everything left in him. He grabbed the girl and dove behind a wall just as the drone fired. A blast shrieked past them and scorched the brick into black ash. David grabbed the girl's hand, pulling her to safety. "Come on," he shouted. "Run." The marked brother watched them escape with a disturbingly calm smile. "You can run," he said softly. "But the world belongs to the leader now. All must submit." The underground safehouse. They retreated into an abandoned underground train station. Fires burned in old metal barrels, casting shaky shadows across the walls. Dozens of refugees huddled together, whispering prayers or sobbing quietly. The young girl sat beside Adesola, trembling but safe. "My name is Sarah," she said, wiping her face. "My mom vanished during the flash. My brother took the mark yesterday. He said the government promised food and safety." "They promised survival," Amina whispered, her voice heavy. "But the cost is your soul." Sarah swallowed hard. "He said I may threat. He tried to hand me over." Adesola closed his eyes. "Jesus said families would betray each other in the last days," he murmured. "And now, we're living it." The first trait. A sudden shout ripped through the station. "They're here," someone told them. People scattered in panic. Drones descended through the tunnel entrance, their lights slicing through the darkness. Soldiers in black armor stormed in with stun rifles. David's voice cracked. "How did they find this place?" Papa Chike's face turned white. His hands shook violently. I told them," he whispered. "I had to. They promised they wouldn't hurt anyone. They said they'd give me my daughter back." Amina stared at him, heartbroken. "You betrayed us?" Papa Chike fell to his knees, sobbing. "They said she was alive. They said if I helped them, I could see her again." Adesola looked at him, hurt, but he understood the crushing pain behind the decision. Before he could speak, gunfire erupted. The attack. Soldiers fired stun rounds into the crowd. Refugees screamed. Some collapsed. Others crawled for cover. Adesola pushed Sarah behind a pillar. "Stay down." "Amina." "David," he shouted. "Back exit." David grabbed Sarah's arm. "This way." But the soldiers were fast. One cornered Amina, raising his rifle. Take the mark, he ordered. Live, or resist, and vanish like the others. Amina spat at his boot. I'd rather die with my soul than live as a corpse. The drone above her charged its weapon. Papa Chike's redemption. Before the drone could fire, Papa Chike stumbled forward and threw himself into the path of the blast. The stun beam tore into him. His body convulsed and collapsed onto the cold cement. Papa Chike! Amina screamed. He gasped, barely holding on, reaching for Adesola's hand. I'm sorry, he whispered. I was afraid. Don't let fear win. Resist. To the end. Quote. Then he went still. Adesola's fists trembled with rage and grief. This ends now, he whispered. Escape and revelation. The group burst into a maintenance tunnel, sprinting as drones swarmed behind them. Soldiers shouted orders. Sirens blared. They pushed through a cracked metal door and stumbled into daylight by the riverbanks. The city skyline glowed with new holograms. Bright, towering illusions promising peace. Suddenly, a massive floating projection lit up the sky. The world leader appeared, smiling with rehearsed sincerity. People of Earth, his voice echoed across the city. The next phase of unity begins. For peace, we require full compliance. Starting immediately, the mark will be mandatory for all purchases. Healthcare and travel. Reject it, and you reject life. Crowds below screamed, some in joy, others in horror. Amina stared up with trembling lips. This is it. Revelation unfolding. Adesola's eyes burned with resolve. Then we stand, even if we're the last ones left. Sarah looked at him, eyes wide with fear and hope. What do we do now? Quote, we find others, he said. Turning away from the city. We build a refuge. And we warn the world before it's too late. Above them, a drone blinked red, watching. The beast's eyes never sleep.